This video has been brought to you by my book, Play the Dragon Volume 1, The History of Dragon Ball Video Games. Check it out in the description below. Hey guys, Ryan here, broadcasting all the way from the popcorn rocket here in space for awesome video game memories, and we're here to talk about Resident Evil 7, which goes back to Resident Evil's horror survival roots. So don't tell Aunt Rhody that we're going to be going into awesome video game memories. Enjoy. Oh my god. Oh Jesus. Alright. Guys, this game is too fucking scary. And I don't think I can do the awesome video game memories of this. You know what? You know what? Fuck it. I think I'm just gonna go outside.
Welcome to the family, son.
Where am I? What the hell?
Oh, well, wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. It's time to play some video games.
Who are you people?
Play it. It's good.
Darn casual wouldn't know a good game if him in the face.
Frank.
His ugly ass face. I call him.
He's not playing it, Josh. He's not playing it. We bought that for him.
Oh, shut up. Just get out of here.
You're a set of casual.
Made her upset. That was supposed to be a very special game for a very special day. Come here, boy.
Where am I? Where the hell did I get this shirt? Alright guys, welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan, and the game we're talking about today is Resident Evil 7! So as far back as 2014, I remember that there were rumors about Resident Evil 7 was going to be shown at E3 2014, and I even saw those nice photoshopped logos. So I went to E3 2014, saw nothing. But for E3 2015, a lot of people were ranting and raving about a little demo called Kitchen. I didn't exactly get to play it, but a lot of people were like, hey, this is kind of Capcom's way of copying Konami's Silent Hill. I was like, well, wouldn't it be great if it was Resident Evil 7? I totally guessed it. Then I remember E3 2016. I was watching the PlayStation press conference and seeing that footage of the haunted house with the "Go tell Aunt Rhody," and I was like, oh, I guess this is the new Silent Hill game, huh, from Konami, because Konami still makes games and not pachinko machines, and they're totally still not the butt of all jokes in the gaming industry like EA and Activision are. Then we saw that 7 come up, and I was like, no way! Resident Evil 7! Oh my god! Very, very clever how they integrated the 7 into the Resident Evil title, kind of like how they did the Biohazard 7 title. And Kitchen even had a 7 in it, although none of us picked up on it. There's no way I could have picked up on that. Clever marketing, Capcom. Clever marketing. This is the reason why you didn't go on sale, huh? So right after the E3 press conference, Capcom announced, hey, the demo is now available on the PSN store on your PS4. So I went to go find it, couldn't find it. For some reason, they made the beginning hour demo really hard to find on the PlayStation Store on the first day. So I was finally able to get it the morning that me and the Battle Geek Plus crew left for E3 2016 by kind of digging for it. And then I played it and I was like, holy shit, this is really fucking scary. I mean, this house reminds me so much of the first Resident Evil, man. And then I saw Jack Baker come up right behind me and he welcomed me into the family. Kind of like what he did earlier. And then after that we left for E3 2016, and then at Capcom's booth, you got to play the Resident Evil 7 demo in VR, but the thing is you needed an appointment for it. And those appointments went fast, really fast, so I had to wait until the PlayStation Experience in December of 2016 to finally play it in VR, the exact same day the demo got updated with VR support. But yeah, I did play the beginning hour demo a lot. And I also remember the VHS tape with Pete, Clancy, and Andre.
Yeah, I totally don't do ADR.
Yeah, like Pete being that big, arrogant asshole, then Andre just wanders off, and then Clancy and Pete have to go after him, and Pete's all, what the fuck is that? Did you hear that? I need a nice hero shot of me coming down the ladder, so you first. And then we were attacked by an unknown entity, which was Jack Baker. And then the demo went through another upgrade in September of 2016 called the Twilight update, where you got to explore more of the attic. And then in December of 2016, during the PlayStation Experience, they updated the demo for the final time to have VR support. So I was able to play it in VR at the PlayStation Experience, although I had to wait like 2 hours in line, but it was pretty cool. I got to go inside that big prop Baker Mansion house that they had, and then I remember playing it in VR and I was like, holy crap, I think I'm inside the house. This is amazing. And then I went down into the really spooky ass basement, and then I went to the bathroom and I was like, why the hell is a bike taking a shower in blood? A bloodbath shower for a bike? Yeah, the Bakers have really weird ways of cleaning their bikes. And I gotta dig my hand in there. There's a gun in the toilet? Did like one of the Bakers just like take a crap? They crap guns? Yeah, it must be that new infection they got. And then I went down into the basement, and then we get our replacement for the zombies for this game, the Molded. Really freaky plant-like creatures that are really hard to kill in this demo. Like, I remember when I was playing this at the PlayStation Experience, I tried to kill it with the axe. I could not kill this thing with the axe. So it killed me, and that was it. I couldn't play the demo anymore. I got to meet one of the producers, Masashita Kawada, and he was very kind to sign this card for me. So I got home, I played the demo again, but this time I was able to make the Molded go away, and I got the true ending, where I escaped through the attic, but hey, my story is complete bullshit because I have LSD on me. Yeah, like, I would be pretty suspicious if I saw a crow inside the microwave, dead cattle, and all these dead bodies in the basement. Yeah, totally not suspicious at all. You know, the Bakers weren't really crazy people. And that Lucas guy, they keep saying he's a bad egg, but maybe he's a pretty nice guy. So I do admit, I played this demo in VR over and over again, and then I got the dirty coin by doing all that crazy stuff, like looking at certain parts of the wall, hearing a laugh. I do remember having to play the VHS tape a zillion times before I got to see the ghost girl again. And then I was finally able to get the last part of it, and then I got the gold coin. I'm the best ever! So finally, in January 24th, 2017, the fated day arrived where Resident Evil 7 was finally in my hands. Like, this was my most anticipated game of 2017, and it it did not disappoint. Although the months leading into the game's release, I tried to get every single bit of info that I could on this game. You know, I even peeked a little bit at those data leaks, and I was like, oh shit, Mia becomes an enemy? Maybe she's the kitchen killer. So when I actually got the PlayStation VR, the first thing I played was the kitchen demo. I totally wasn't scared of it. Not at all. You know, horror games don't do anything to me because I got balls of steel like Chris Redfield. Yeah. So, like a maniac, I opted to play the entire game totally in VR mode. And I totally wasn't scared at all. Like I said before, horror games are nothing to me. I mean, I got like balls of steel, nerves of iron. Okay, that sounded cheesy, but yeah, I totally wasn't scared. I mean, just look at this footage. Like, look how brave I was.
Dinner was oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, I chose this path. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, Resident Evil 7 is about our protagonist, Ethan Winters, trying to find his dead wife, Mia Winters, who was presumed dead about 3 years ago in a tanker accident. But suddenly he gets an email, which he prints out, and goes to Dolville, Louisiana, to find his missing wife at the Baker estate. Really friendly place this looks. So when Ethan drives his car all the way to Dolville, Louisiana, most likely from Texas because that's what Mia's driver's license says, he tries to open the door, it's boarded up. So he takes the scenic route, and you know, I gotta admit, Louisiana looks pretty nice this time of year. Aside from the dead bird carcasses, the dead cow carcasses, that entrance with the cow skull and the buzzsaws. Oh hey, it's the Sewer Gators van. How them Sewer Gators doing? Pete, Andre, Clancy? Accept her gift. Oh boy, am I gonna have a party in here? Hey, can't say no to free cake, right? And it was actually pretty cool. You get to see the guest house from the beginning hour demo in the daylight. And there are a lot of differences. Although that moldy pot with gumbo still has the cockroaches in it. And hey, we get to watch the VHS tape again. But this time we get to pick up a lockpick that we can use in the real world to get an antique coin. And then we finally get to see what's beyond the basement. And I remember this part being really crazy. Like, I was just going through that water and then I saw, holy crap, there's a corpse! A maggot-infested corpse. Oh, hi, Andre. Wow, Andre. Looks like the maggots are making a good home in your corpse, man. At least you were always a professional producer. Rest well, Andre. I wonder what happened to Pete and Clancy. And I'm actually surprised, very early in the game, you actually rescue Mia. I thought you had to wait till probably like the end of the game or kind of midway through to finally see Mia, but you get her just right at the start. Although Mia's like, I didn't send you anything. You know, Mia, you look kind of familiar. You know a guy named Pete Walken, right? Who got stabbed by someone who kind of looked like you, but a little more like a zombie? You're not the kitchen killer, are you, Mia? And then you've seen this list of people's names that either turned or died. So looks like Pete and Andre are dead, but what happened to Clancy? It says L. I think that L stands for Lucas, man. Yeah, so once you explore the house a bit, it is the same area from beginning hour, but it looks a lot different. Like, the big scary gate to the basement is not there, and also, it's very rearranged. Like, it took me a little while to tell what it was, and then Mia was gone. Like, somebody just, like, kidnapped her and shit. And then it starts raining. Like, it was just, like, bright and sunny a while ago, and then I hear a familiar shrieking voice. Mia, are you okay? Holy shit! Hey, Mia, get that knife away from me! Get that knife away from me! So it is confirmed. Mia is the kitchen killer who killed Pete! Get out of my head, too! You know what? I'm a bad YouTuber. I totally deserve this. The comments always say that. And so we finally get our first phone call in the game from Zoe Baker, and I was like, oh hey, it's that girl from the demo who called me and says I'm fucked. But this time I'm not fucked. Okay, great. I'm gonna head through the attic just like the old guy did. Yeah, honey. Holy shit. Why are you throwing me in that library? Hey Mia, you did not marry an axe murderer. You made me do this in self-defense. Can we get the hell out of this house now? Oh wait, we're at the beginning of the game. Really bad shit is gonna happen, isn't it? Hi Mia, you're finally normal again now. Honey, let's please get out of this house. And holy shit, my hand fucking hurts. Mia, you don't use a screwdriver for the hands. A hand has to use the screwdriver to fix stuff. And I don't think it's gonna fix our marriage right now. Yeah, honey? Okay, listen, I know you've been gone for 3 years. I mean, that's a pretty long time. But put the chainsaw down, honey. Put it down, oh my god! Mia, could you give me a hand? You know, mine, the one you cut off? Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. The first real boss battle in this game is your wife. Your completely possessed wife, Mia. Well, Mia, I bet you're kind of the beast in the sack, but you might not want to bring that chainsaw to bed. And also, the good thing about playing this game completely in VR is it's a lot easier to aim. Because if you tried using the normal controls, it's completely possible to aim, don't worry about it, because I actually played this game through, you know, just for fun to capture some footage without VR. But yeah, the VR makes it really easy to just move your head and just pull the trigger, which really helps with Mia because Mia like moves a lot. It's a bit hard to aim for her head. Oh man, Mia on Madhouse mode. I'll talk about that later. So after we supposedly defeat Mia, Jack, just like the demo, welcomes us to the family. I mean, what is this stuff you're eating? Is it like human guts? It's not good. Yeah, actually the funny thing when I saw this scene was like, I think Grandma has a lot more to do with this than she appears to be. I think she's gonna be the final boss. Yeah, so I remember actually watching this scene in YouTube where you escape from the dinner table and Jack's chasing you, but holy shit, Jack is a lot faster than you. You're gonna have a lot of trouble outrunning him, and he can even chop off your leg. I'm not shitting you. He's gonna chop off your leg and actually give you some medicine to heal it. Like, why doesn't he just leave me like bleeding and stranded? I think he just wants to have fun. Oh yeah, and my first impression of the police officer is, oh, black cop, he's gonna die. He's gonna be the first person to die. It's pretty obvious. Like, they do that in like every horror game and movie ever. As much as I would also be annoyed just getting a pocket knife in this house full of hillbilly killers, you know, it's very, very Texas Chainsaw Massacre inspired. What the hell's a pocket knife gonna do against these guys? Like, this one guy tried to chase me with a shovel, and I just get a freaking pocket knife? And of course, Jack appears out of nowhere. Deputy. You kinda should've quit while you were ahead. No. Yeah, so like this boss battle with Jack is actually one of the funniest and one of the creepiest parts of the game because it's funny when he gets inside your car and he's like, nice car, Ethan, and he just does donuts in your car in the garage. I mean, just look at this. I wanna take you for a ride. Like, how could you not laugh during that? But it's also kind of creepy because Jack is just all like acting like a playful maniac. He's like, nice car, Ethan. I'm gonna kill every one of you. Since I play this in VR, like when Jack was trying to crash us into those, girders, I actually ducked like this. I mean, it didn't make a difference, but my natural instinct was to duck. Oh, hey Jack, I know you're a homicidal maniac, but suicide is not the way. Oh, fuck. Or, no. Fuck yes! You're dead. I think. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And so after that, you enter the main hall of the Baker Mansion, and I'm actually very surprised. It's a big mansion, but not as big as the Spencer Mansion from the first game. Then you watch another VHS tape with Mia trying to escape crazy bug lady Marguerite Baker. And Marguerite's pretty fucking creepy. Oh, and I haven't gotten started on her yet, just wait. Yeah, and I do remember going inside that bathroom, draining the bathtub, and getting that piece. And then Jack just fucking appears out of nowhere. I was like, holy shit. Well, it looks like Jack didn't exactly quit while he was ahead. His head is still coming. And I remember this chase with Jack was really hard because I remember getting the scorpion key in the spooky ass basement and then trying to go back up to get the shotgun, well, the broken shotgun from Grandma's room so I can get the real shotgun. And Jack was just fucking patrolling that area so much. The puzzles in this game are very, very easy. Like, you just have to move an object to form a shadow. And Ethan's like, who builds this shit?
Who builds this shit?
Let's talk about the spooky ass basement. Like, I remember seeing clips on this on YouTube and pictures, and I was like, do I really gotta go down in that scary ass basement with all the mold downstairs? And there's like 3 fucking molded coming at me. Yeah, these molded fuckers are like some of the scariest fucking enemies that you'll ever see in a game, man. Yeah, there's like regular molded, crawling molded, spiked armed molded, and big fat molded. I wonder what they eat. And also, what is pretty crazy, like, a lot of the molded used to be, you know, humans. And there was this guy named Travis and his girlfriend Courtney. And then Travis tries to escape multiple times. And then he finally gets captured. Lucas puts him inside one of the incinerators. And once you free him, you actually have to fight poor Travis. And he's a spiked molded. Sorry, Travis. You're not yourself anymore. I know you tried to get Courtney out, man, but I gotta just put an ending to your misery. Although I heard Courtney died. I don't know what happened, though. And I remember trying to get that dog head, and I was like, oh, fuck, something crazy is gonna happen here. Like, Jack's just gonna ambush me, right? I'm gonna get the dog head. Jack's gonna throw me down in that fucking pit. Of course he did. He's Jack Baker. You know, welcome to the family son, Jack Baker. Now, this fight with Jack was pretty crazy. You actually get a chainsaw to fight him after you do a decent amount of damage. And he says like, haha, cool, Evil Dead reference right there. Awesome. Although I do admit I died the first time because Jack used that like super pincher attack that I had to duck under to get like a trophy, but I was able to beat him and I was like, fucking stay dead! And I was actually hoping that you can use the chainsaw for the rest of the game, but it breaks. Piece of junk. And so we're finally outside, and then we're instructed to go into that really spooky ass old house from the Mia videotape where Marguerite's stalking the grounds, and there's bugs. Giant fucking bugs. Holy fuck. Actually, what's really cool about this game, it makes a lot of references to the past Resident Evil games. Like, hey, Clive O'Brien finally finished his book. And there's Alyssa Ashcroft from Resident Evil Outbreak, which people are still playing to this day, even though Capcom shut down the servers. But a whole bunch of fans came together and made Outbreak servers. Oh, hey, the Arklay Mountains, 1991. I'm sure nothing bad's gonna happen there in 7 years. Yeah, like, I would name a lot more of the references, but it's pretty cool if you find them on your own. And at that fucking part where I finally get the crow key, and then I'm trying to go up to that crow door, then Marguerite just fucking jumps out and scares the shit out of me. This is not the first time she does it. And then I get knocked down into the pit. I just unload all my ammo and she falls down in the pit. Yeah, bitch, we switch places. And then she's melting. But I have to get her lantern in order to, you know, proceed to that scary ass room in the second floor. Like, why couldn't I just, like, you know, just pull down on the lever? And I remember seeing those fucking legs walking in that tunnel, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I asked one of my friends on Twitter, what the fuck is that? And he was like, oh, you'll see. You'll see. And then you go in that fucking scary ass greenhouse. And then she fucking jumps out of the window and scares me again! Fucking Marguerite, dude. Yeah, Marguerite is the fucking jump scare queen of this game. And is that a fucking bug hive in your fucking vagina? Well, you can say she really likes it up the ass. Oh, God, she's like shitting, giving birth to bugs. Yeah, I actually do recall Marguerite being one of the harder bosses of the game. Like, you can use all your burner ammo, and it doesn't really do much there, so I just had to unload, like, all my handgun and shotgun ammo at her. So once you get the lantern, you go in that really fucking spooky room with me. The ball just, like, comes out of nowhere. Oh, what a cute teddy bear. Holy shit, mold is growing all over it. And this is the first glance we get of the main antagonist of this game, a little girl named Evelyn. Yeah, because kids are definitely the embodiment of evil in scary movies. Like, just look at the way they portray kids in Children of the Corn or City of Lost Children and shit like that. Yeah, so in order to make this serum, Zoe needs like a D-series head and an arm. Well, I guess it didn't cost her an arm and a leg. Gotta take the arm off really disgusting looking fucking corpse. Oh hey, more molded are inside here. In the dark. Fuck. And then after that you go back to the trailer hoping to meet good old Zoe, but hey, Lucas says, I'll put Zoe on a timeout, so you gotta go back inside the house. Oh, look in the refrigerator. I mean, Jesus, the poor cop's not even getting a break tonight. Like, he's already dead and you're like turning him into one of the molded. Stop. Stop. He's already dead. And then you go down in the spooky ass basement again, completely in the dark with another fucking jump scare. Oh my god. Ah!
Whoa, shit!
And then you gotta dig your arm into the cop's body to get the key. Oh. And of course you get the happy birthday tape where we see Clancy's final fate. Now I remember this was very, very hard to solve for me. Like, I didn't even know, like, you had to wash that lens in, like, the water. I thought, like, you have to position the lens to see something special, but, oh, hey, you just gotta spray it with water and you just dig your hand into the piss and shit-filled toilet. Ah! Oh, come on, you don't have that bloody tattoo loser on my arm. Poor guy burns to death. That is the end of our good friend Clancy from the Sewer Gators. I think I'm going to go to all the Sewer Gators videos on YouTube and give them 5 stars in Clancy's honor, man. Although it is pretty crazy, if you read Lucas's journal, he trapped one of his childhood bullies in the attic and didn't let him out until he fucking died. That is fucking nuts. Well, yeah, like Andre was right, Lucas is a bad seed. And then we go to the barnyard to enter Lucas's House of Horrors and hey, Let's Play! I did a Let's Play of this game, right? Go watch my Let's Play. It says in the game. And actually, what is pretty crazy about this part, like, Lucas lays traps everywhere. Like, I actually remember, you know, kind of looking at some kind of playthrough on this, and I was like, okay, I gotta make sure I shoot out all those, you know, bomb traps. And there's a lot of them, trust me. And then we have the barn fight. Ethan in this corner versus super duper acid puking fat molded in the next. But luckily I did have the grenade launcher and was able to beat this thing easily. And then you have to repeat Clancy's trap, but the problem is you have to put all your items in the item box. I was like, fuck you, Lucas, I'm gonna bring my fucking shotgun. No, I can't enter the room. Although it is pretty cool, the passcode is actually the sounds from Resident Evil Code Veronica. Another reference, although I do admit when I did the trap again, I actually completely followed Clancy's way in the VHS tape and I got Ethan killed, which really sucked. And then I just did it again, although without getting the crank, I just immediately put loser into the thing and then I was able to solve it. And then Luke was like, fuck you, were supposed to die, damn it, die, die, die. And then that's the last we see of Lucas for a while until the DLC.
Now that would be telling, Ethan. And I don't do spoilers.
And then we go to the boathouse, we see Zoe and Mia, and then we give them the serum. Although it is pretty cool how Zoe was able to make that serum just like right there without any like real equipment. And then this big ass molded monster grabs you saying, Zoe, get your rock in the house. Are you Bill Cosby? No, you're mutated big molded lizard Jack Baker. Holy shit. Yeah, I remember I actually did die to Jack Baker a couple of times. And he grabs you and like, holy shit, I thought this was over. But then Zoe says, use the serum. And then he calcifies. Oh, that was close. And then you come to a moral choice where you have to choose between Zoe and Mia. Well, during my first playthrough, I obviously chose Mia because, she's my wife, the love of my life, the peach in my pie, the cream in my coffee. I actually did feel sad for Zoe since she's really, really bitter you didn't choose her. Although, on my second playthrough, I chose Zoe, and Mia isn't exactly as upset as Zoe, but it does kind of suck. Zoe actually dies, so what was the point of choosing her anyways? Oh yeah, just to change the ending and get that achievement or that trophy. Right now, here, in my honest opinion, is where I think the game just kind of goes a bit downhill. Like, I love the mansion, I love the guest house, I love the basement, because that was like genuine scary shit, but we're inside a spooky ship. But, okay, don't get me wrong. The ship is definitely very spooky, but it just kind of seems out of place. Like, it reminds me of Resident Evil Revelations, where most of the game was on a ship. So this time you play as Mia. You go back to 2014 when this all kind of happened. Your crewmate Alan is responsible for releasing Evelyn, and you actually learn what Evelyn's abilities are. Like, she's this little girl who turns people into molded creatures so she can make her family. God, she's creepy as fuck. Yeah, and I also thought the ship really dragged because you have to go from floor A, floor B, get this thing here, get some corrosive to melt the doors and the locks, there's a shit ton of molded, then you have to do this really, really pointless paint puzzle. Like, what's the point? Just have the item there because, this puzzle wasn't as cool as making those cool shapes in the shadows and shit, And then after this, Evelyn calls Mia Mommy. You know what? I don't need you anymore. I can make Ethan love you, and we can all be a family, but you know what? Fuck you, Mommy. Fuck you. Oh, and I'm going to turn your friend Alan into a disgusting molded creature. Although it is pretty crazy, when you try to get one of the plugs for the elevator, that fucking fat molded comes. Although it's cool in this stage, you actually get remote mine, so you can kind of set one on the ground, have one of the big fatsos walk over, and you can just blow them away. And then we get some kind of flashback with Jack Baker saying, hey, we were innocent people. I wish you were innocent before I met you. Like, you tried to chop off my leg with a shovel, which you actually did, and you tried to kill me with some gigantic ass spike bat, and then you drove my car in circles, crashing it. You owe me insurance on that. And then you turn into this gigantic ass alligator molded creature trying to kill me. But okay, I'll believe you, Jack. So Evelyn took over the Baker family, so they're innocent victims. The struggle of the innocent victim turned bad. It's not their fault. Well, you just kidnapped like over 30 people and either killed them or turned them into these disgusting green monsters, but I'm gonna get a lighter sentence, right? Right, officer? Okay, now depending if you chose Mia or Zoe. If you chose Zoe, Mia gets infected again and she tries to kill you, but then you have to kill her, and then Mia finally dies, which really sucks because that was the whole point of the game. Although if you choose Mia, she tries to fend off Evelyn for a while, but sends you back outside. Mia! No! Although if Mia had the serum, she shouldn't really have any worries about being infected. But can she get affected again? And then once you're done, you go outside and you see all the fish and you're like, that's a lot of fish. And what's pretty cool about this cabin is you get a radio transmission saying, oh, hey, the mercenaries are going after Lucas inside the tunnels, so we'll definitely get to see what happens to Lucas in the DLC. Actually, what does kind of suck is we don't get any resolution to Lucas in the final game. And then we go into the salt mines. Are these things full of salt? Tons of molded, and I remember actually pushing down that cart to just kill the molded like that, and then you go inside the lab, but then you find an email from Lucas Baker saying, oh hey, that bitch Evelyn was trying to control me. I was pretending, but I was like, hey Evelyn, what do you want me to do today? I want you to kill people. Okay, I'm gonna kill people. Not. Although Lucas did kill a lot of people. Because remember, he's a bad seed. Well, luckily the mines are not really that long, although those two molded at the end can be a little difficult, so I opted to kill them, but in Madhouse mode, I'll talk about that later. And we're finally out of the fucking mines. Oh, great, thanks for giving me the map to the mines after I was done with the mines. Then we go back to the old house. We go back to the old killing grounds. And we see flashbacks of Mia, chainsawing my arm off, which Zoe gave it back to me, Mia. Just letting you know. And then we find out who the final boss is.
You.
Why does everyone hate me?
Grandma? I totally fucking called it! Grandma was gonna be the last boss of Resident Evil 7. I fucking knew it! Who actually reveals to be Evelyn in an old state because Evelyn needed to get medication to keep her powers and her age under check, and she actually aged 25 times faster than the normal human. Now luckily Evelyn isn't really that hard, you just have to unload ammo on her. Like I just had the machine gun, unloaded ammo on her on that, and when I ran out of that I used a shotgun. And then after that you go outside where you see the mercenaries drop you a gun and saying, use this! It's the Albert 01. Albert Wesker lives! Of course I'm Albert Wesker. My legacy was left behind with my guns. Complete global shooteration. And of course we are rescued by the Umbrella Corporation? Like, did Umbrella turn good? I thought they've collapsed. I thought they were out of business. And let's not count that really shitty game that came out before this. But hey, Umbrella's back. Are they good guys now? They got a blue logo. Are they turning over a new leaf? Redfield? You mean Chris Redfield? Wait, you don't look anything like Chris Redfield. A lot of people are kind of debating whether this is the real Chris Redfield or some imposter just taking his name. And I have to go with the imposter taking his name because, Chris is in that movie Vendetta where he looks almost the same like Resident Evil 6. So, yeah, I think this guy's just a mercenary calling himself Chris Redfield. Yeah, because you can just Google your own name. Like, I Googled Ryan Molina. I mean, I have my own IMDb page. It's like, yes, this is the correct one. There's a Ryan Molina as a successful architect. There's another one who's married to a really hot chick, and another one who got married to a really hot chick. And there's also the Ryan Molina who was arrested for meth in Florida. Yeah, I confess, that was totally me. But yeah, I think people are really making this to be more of a big deal than it already is. Like, it's very, very obvious that this is not the Chris Redfield we all know and love. It's probably just a guy assuming his name. So my first time through this game was about a little over 11 hours, but then my next playthrough, I did it on easy, so I can actually get the circular saw and the x-ray glasses if I beat the game under 4 hours. And plus it was a lot easier because I had the Albert gun. And then I attempted Madhouse mode. Because in Madhouse mode, I actually died to Mia at the beginning with the chainsaw about 3 times. Because there was one time she actually landed right behind me and just slashed me from behind. And I actually ran out of bullets, so I had to use the axe to kill her. And I was reading online, a lot of people died to her like 11 times, 12 times, 20 times. Yeah, she is that hard. And also, like when you're trying to escape Jack in the house, he's like running like an Olympic runner. Like he will catch the fuck up with you. Well, but luckily I had the circular saw and x-ray glasses, so most of it wasn't too bad, but it was pretty crazy having to fight 2 fat molded in the barn, 2 fat molded in the ship, and that last part before you go back into the old house in the mines, with the 2 fat molded, they have traps on the ladder. Like, you basically have to try to stun them and go up, but I could never do it. But I did exploit a glitch where I just hid myself in the corner down in the stairs before they come to you, and then they all come to you, and you can just shoot them in the head like multiple times. That was the only way I was able to beat it. But luckily Evelyn wasn't too difficult to beat in Madhouse mode, and then when you unlock Madhouse mode you have infinite ammo, which is so cool, which most of this footage has because that's what I recorded it off from. And also I tried to play another game on easy so I can get the achievement to only open 3 item boxes, and I only opened it right after my first encounter with Jack when I go into the laundry room, and then both times when Lucas tells you to put your stuff away and get it back. And also, I was actually able to platinum this entire game. I mean, it's not a super difficult game to platinum, but it does take a bit of time, so you just gotta be really patient. And so the ending, so depending on who you choose, Mia is going to be alive, or if you chose Zoe, Mia's dead, and you just throw away your phone with her message on it as you move on. But I'll take the canon ending as Mia surviving, and Ethan's all, when one door closes, another opens. And that door is the DLC! So I also bought the season pass with this game, with the DLC, which is actually really cool. Like, I did enjoy Nightmare Mode with Clancy down in the basement, and I actually beat both that and Night Terror. But yeah, it's actually pretty fun if you play it. Like, your poor Clancy, oh man, poor Clancy does not get a break from any of this. And he's trying to survive his way just shooting Molded all downstairs. And with the occasional fat Molded and Jack. Although the problem is, if you unlock the circular saw, you're gonna not have a big enough score. And then Ethan Must Die, which is a mode where you can only get hit like 2 times, and you have to kill Marguerite in the greenhouse. Right now, the farthest I can get to it is when I go back inside the rec room, but that's after a lot of trial and error. And there's just so many times you can mess up, and the boxes are always random, so you can't really watch a playthrough on YouTube and expect to get the same items. And then the next part of the DLC on banned footage was Bedroom, which you also get to play in VR too. Like, your poor Clancy, who still can't catch a break. Hey, I'm in this nice bed. I'm in the fucking master bedroom. Oh, hey Marguerite, you're serving me human guts that are infected with mold. You get to play Daughters, which is really cool because you get to play as Zoe, and you get to see what the house was like before, Evelyn came over and before they messed it up. Like, you get to explore a really, really clean house. Although I do admit this is very short, it had so much potential to be longer, but the good news is there's 2 endings, depending whether you get the dog head to go out in the yard or you try to escape from the front. Both endings are actually pretty good, although, I prefer the actual ending where you go outside and then you see Mia inside the trailer. Although it is pretty crazy when, Jack and Marguerite are dragging Zoe, gotta meet your new sister! No! Next part of the banned footage to 21, well, it's kind of blackjack, kind of not, mostly blackjack because, you have to get to 21, but the problem is you only have 11 cards in the deck, so you're just playing with literally like 1/4 of a deck, and there's no clubs, spades, or hearts. Although it is a bit kind of sad, your fingers get chopped off, and then you get electrocuted, and then your face gets buzzsawed, and Hoffman across from you is like, sorry dude, I don't care about you. I need to get back to my wife and daughter, so fuck off and just die for me, please. And then what sucks about 21 survival is like the first 5 opponents are easy, although it's pretty creepy. Hoffman turns into a Molded, and then the computer really fucking cheats with all the trump cards. Like, if you waste all your good trump cards, the opponent is gonna choose shit like, hey, draw the highest card in the deck even though you have 21. Fuck you. Yeah, I still haven't beaten this mode to this day. I mean, I've beaten regular 21, but 21 plus survival just really fucking sucks. And then the best one of all, Jack's 55th birthday! Happy birthday, Jack! Oh, look at those Molded! They're invited to the party with their party hats. Molded with party hats. Yay! Yeah, Jack's 55th birthday is kind of the closest we have to mercenaries. You have to kill the Molded and to get more time and feed Jack food. It's a fun, lighthearted, fun game. So at the time of this recording, the Not a Hero DLC, which features Chris Redfield, is going to be released for free, and then there's going to be one more story DLC. I mean, I really hope it actually covers what happens to Zoe after the boathouse and you choose Mia, but time will tell. Yeah, so Resident Evil 7, like, I was like kind of skeptical about the whole first person thing, but no, the first person thing really worked well for this game because it's just so immersive. Like, you look around, it's just like you're in that house. And especially if you're playing it in PlayStation VR, you are in that house, man. Like, I remember playing this and like thinking, am I in the real world or not? I better take this off and just kind of take a peek down at the floor because this is just a game. No, this feels very fucking real. Although I do have some problems with the game, and while I do love the game, I don't think it's really Game of the Year contender like Resident Evil 4 was, and for 2017 it might not even match up to Zelda Breath of the Wild or Horizon Zero Dawn, which I both have. Because I honestly do think that the ship level, while spooky, is still a bit out of place. Like, I kind of wish that the Baker Mansion was a lot bigger, just have a lab underground, kind of like the first Resident Evil game, and then have the salt mines. Like, if you really wanted to pay a homage to the first game, try doing that. I really wanted a bigger Baker Mansion. I mean, I think the Baker Mansion is pretty much the same size as the Spencer one in Lost in Nightmares, and that wasn't really long to begin with. Like, I would have liked to explore, like, really, really long-ass corridors, and really, really dark, spooky environments. And also, another gripe I have with this game is the enemy variety. Like, we pretty much only get the Bakers and the Molded and the Bugs. Like, I mean, Louisiana has a lot of crazy-ass wildlife. Like, why couldn't we get, like, molded birds? Like the fucking dead crows they were, like, molded bulls and cows. Yeah, I mean, even though we had bugs, but why couldn't they be, like, giant molded bugs or even molded dogs? We see, like, a dog die, like, in the preview. And what would have been crazy is we could have gotten, like, molded alligators. Like, a big molded alligator fight. Although Jack Baker kind of makes up for that one, though. Yeah, I mean, it would have been really cool to also have, like the cop, David Anderson. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention his name. Like, having him just, like, kind of walk towards you as a molded, like, he can't talk anymore, but he's, like, speaking in, like, rah, rah, rah. Like, and have him be, like, a special boss, like, the David Anderson cop molded fight. And also, I know we will figure out what happens to Lucas in the DLC, but yeah, you don't really get to fight the guy. Like, I was thinking Lucas was going to be that boss that hops on the ceiling, he crawls around and, just attacks you and shit. But we'll probably get to see a lot of his abilities in the DLC. Although, the really good thing about this game is, it does work as a standalone title. Like, you don't really need to play the past Resident Evils to understand this game. I mean, it's very loosely connected. I mean, there are a lot of references to a lot of the past games for fan service, but if this is like your first time playing a Resident Evil game and you start with 7, like, you're not gonna be lost at all because, like, you're probably gonna think, yeah, hey, the Umbrella Corporation's more of a mercenary corporation, and, and all these references, I don't understand who Clive O'Brien or Alyssa Ashcroft is, but maybe they're people of importance. You know what? I'll just go on Wikipedia and look it all up. And YouTube too, to watch videos of the old games. Yeah, and our protagonist Ethan, he doesn't really say a lot, but he does get a nice one-liner here and there. Yeah, because I read in an interview with the Capcom developers, they wanted Ethan to be you. Like, most of the time, it's really your reactions to the environment. Like, Ethan, yeah, he does say a thing here or two, and you really don't get to see his face that much. But yeah, Ethan is basically you and your reactions. And that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, so Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Like, I just can't say enough great things about this game, aside from, the ship level and, the lack of enemy variety. But still, man, you really, really need to play this in PlayStation VR. Like, trust me, it's 100% worth it. Alright, so that wraps up this episode of Awesome Video Game Memories about Resident Evil 7. So go tell Aunt Rhody that you're gonna play this game. Welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan, and the game we're going to talk about today is Resident Evil 7. Actually, the DLC for Resident Evil 7, Not a Hero and End of Zoe. So guys, remember after you beat Resident Evil 7 and you can play Not a Hero, available spring 2017? Yeah, me neither. And of course we heard that Capcom wasn't exactly satisfied with the quality of Not a Hero, so they were gonna delay it indefinitely. And by indefinitely, they mean until the end of the year. But hey, we got an extra episode announced too, The End of Zoe. So both Not a Hero and End of Zoe will address both of the loose ends that weren't answered in the Resident Evil 7 story. So I actually got to play Not a Hero a couple of days early at the PlayStation Experience 2017. And, well, I gotta get this out of the way. I didn't want to admit it, but yes, this is Chris Redfield. You know, boulder punching, zombie slaying Chris Redfield. Yep. 100% him, man. So, hashtag not my Redfield, can't use it anymore. From what I heard though, Capcom used some kind of new photo imagery technology, trying to make the models look more realistic, and they couldn't exactly put, bulking Hulk Chris into Resident Evil 7 and still make it look realistic, although they did it for Vendetta, the movie. I don't know anything about making video game characters, so I will just shut up now. Okay. So, Mr. Shrunken Down, you kind of look like your Resident Evil 1 version, Chris Redfield. Prove to me that you're Chris Redfield. Oh, okay, so you punch molded and their heads pop. You're Chris! You're definitely Chris! Hey, how's it going, buddy? I missed ya. Yep, Chris Redfield's been getting a lot of action. He's been in 3 of the previous Resident Evil main titles, Resident Evil 5, 6, and 7. You know what? Might as well just dedicate Resident Evil 8 to Chris Redfield. Well, but which one? Bulking, hulking Chris Redfield that we know, or current shrunk down, I went on a diet Chris Redfield? So, the story of Not a Hero addresses what happens to Lucas Baker, the crazy psychopath son of the Bakers, and then you play as Chris Redfield, BSAA agent, teaming up with New Umbrella, or Blue Umbrella. So what's Umbrella's role in all of this? Well, in 2007, according to the files, Umbrella rebranded themselves as a PMC, a private military company, and they were trying to make amends for all the horrible shit they did. Well, Umbrella, you kinda killed hundreds of thousands of people, you caused a lot of pain, so you got a lot of making up to do, Umbrella. So Chris Redfield has to track down his men and Lucas Baker, and he has to capture Lucas alive, like that's gonna go well. And then he has to go down in the mines and in the areas that you were not able to enter in the main game as Ethan. So they added this new game mechanic in Not a Hero where Chris has a gas mask and Lucas unloads a whole bunch of gas in certain parts of the game, and you have to make sure that Chris gets out of that area before he chokes on the gas! Oh crap! But of course, after Lucas kind of kills some of your men and he sadistically enjoys every second of it, oh, I can't wait to get my hands on that Lucas Baker! And of course, Chris eventually gets an expansion for his gas mask, he gets night vision goggles, and then Chris has to fight a new breed of molded, which actually is bulletproof! Oh my god! But then later you can get these anti-regeneration bullets that stop these new white molded in their tracks. And then you have to fight these little creepy molded creatures. Oh my god, get off me! Ah! And oh boy, man. Lucas Baker is a fucking psycho, like they say in the game. Like, first he kills your henchmen in the most horrifying ways possible. So he pushes a button and blows your teammate's head off. Then he slices your teammate's head off with a buzzsaw and shit. Like, holy crap! And once you clear this tripwire room, and then you rescue your teammate, you think everything's going well, boom! Lucas pops his head off. Pop goes the weasel. But of course, Lucas actually puts a bomb on Chris's arm, and then Chris has to get that thing off, and Lucas is like, well, it's gonna be 3 dead soldiers soon, son. So, you have to get to the liquid nitrogen, but then Big Mama Molded, the white one, comes after you, and holy shit, man, this battle, you get to fight the little baby Molded, and then you fight Big Mama Molded, so you just gotta unload everything you got. And one thing about this DLC is, You start off with very, very limited ammunition, but the longer you play, you're gonna get a lot more ammunition, but I do recommend conserving it. And then once you beat the big mama molded, and then you have to go through this gauntlet inside this, big rotating thing, which has a whole ton of molded, all the fat molded, all the crawling molded, and every single molded on the freaking planet. And then once Chris escapes the fire, Chris didn't start the fire, Lucas started it and he has to pay. And then you go to a laboratory, of course. What Resident Evil game doesn't end in a laboratory, of course, where Lucas thinks Chris is dead, but then when he sees Chris, he's like, holy shit, man, I was gonna send an email, but I was too busy looking at some porn. Then Lucas tries to attack you, Chris shoots him, and then Lucas is like, oh, you're really fucked now. And then you see Lucas in molded mode. Yep, Lucas transforms just like his father and mother, and then he attacks you. And then in this battle, like the gas comes out, and even like your gas mask expansion doesn't help you, so you have to get gas from the walls whenever you can. But, he's not super hard. You just gotta hit Lucas in the heart a whole bunch of times with your weapons. But, just unload everything in Lucas. Then Lucas is gone. Chris is like, fuck you. Bam! Blows off Lucas's head. Finally, Lucas is gone. You psycho motherfucker. We've avenged Oliver, who you trapped in your attic, and your parents never found out. But then Lucas has his email going out, and it's either going to renew his porn subscription or going to a buyer because he's going to cut ties with the Connections, who actually created Evelyn. But then Chris decides, you know what? I don't know shit about computers. Bam! Computer's dead. No porn emails have been sent. And that ends Not a Hero, although Chris is still very, very skeptical about working with Umbrella. And now our final DLC, End of Zoe, actually addresses what happened to Zoe Baker after the end of Resident Evil 7. So obviously the canon decision that Ethan made in Resident Evil 7 was to cure his wife Mia, which left Zoe wandering around the swamp until Evelyn calcified her. But then she's found by her uncle Joe Baker, who's Jack's brother, and then he tries to nurse her back to health, but then Joe Baker's shack catches on fire from a mysterious entity, and that's when shit goes down, son. Now, what do you get when you combine Resident Evil, Punch-Out, and the Adventures of Bayou Billy? You get the End of Zoe. So Jack Baker don't need them fancy guns, he's got his fists! Fist of Fury, and he's like, pum, 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 man, molded, in the face. It's like you're playing Punch-Out in Resident Evil. And how people complained about the lack of monster variety in the main Resident Evil game, and we're like, well, we're in Louisiana, why don't we have molded zombie gators? Well, they fulfilled our wishes, because we got molded zombie gators like we've always wanted! Yay! And they kill you in one hit if you're not careful. So you pretty much have to craft wooden spears, and they kill the alligators in one hit, which is, wow. If it was that easy to kill alligators in real life, man, I'd be an alligator hunter, just like Joe Baker. Yeah, this is like Bayou Billy, man. And so throughout the End of Zoe, you're stalked by this entity called the Swamp Man, and you have no idea who he is, but you can't even run away from him. You have to beat him or else you can't leave the area. So Joe's gotta put up them fists and alright, Swamp Man, back in your face. And of course, as you're traversing through the swamp, Joe eats bugs. Ugh. Well, Joe's been living out in the wilderness all his life, so yeah, bugs taste like chicken. And then you can also find these dolls, which increases Joe's punching power, so he can uppercut, man, uppercut, And I actually do remember when you get to the really, really spooky church, and then you have to fight that giant molded with just your fists. I kept losing that battle. So I decided to go on YouTube, and then they kind of recommended that you kind of have to, circle around him. So you punch him, you punch the molded in the back, and then you run around so he doesn't spit on you, which really definitely helped. And then after that, once you get into the church and see Zoe, and then you find out the identity of the Swamp Man, it's Jack Baker! Holy shit, he's back! But now he's a Swamp Man! So basically calcifying him didn't exactly stop him. So Jack became one with the swamp. So Jack is Swamp Thing, or the Toxic Avenger. But he's still Jack fucking Baker. So after Swamp Man Jack Baker traps you in a coffin, you wind up back at the old house. Now the Baker Mansion's been quarantined, and then you actually get a new weapon to deal with your dearly departed brother. I don't care what the name of it is, but it's the Power Glove! Alright, come on Jack, let's dance! So you make your way back into the main hall of the Baker family ranch, well, which is now quarantined, and you have your final showdown with Jack Baker. Hey Jack, remember the time we were playing Punch-Out on the NES, and I was using the Power Glove and I beat Mike Tyson? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do to you, little brother! And of course, what's awesome about the Power Glove is you get to charge it, and then you get to hit Jack, and then you beat Jack, you rescue Zoe, and Zoe's all cured, and then she gets a call from Ethan, from Chris Redfield, and Ethan, being the awesome guy he is, always keeps his promises, and the end of Zoe finally ties up the loose end of what happened to Zoe at the end of Resident Evil 7. Of course, when you start a new game of End of Zoe, you get the Power Glove in your inventory, and you get to punch the molded like this. Bam! I'm using the Power Glove, bitches! Bam, bam! I'm Joe Baker, motherfucker! Alright, so Not a Hero and the End of Zoe. The last two Resident Evil 7 DLC episodes, were they worth the wait, and do they conclude the story well? Yes, they do. They definitely conclude the story of Resident Evil 7, tying up all the loose ends, and they're more action-based than they are, horror and exploration-based, but, they're a fun expansion to the game, and yes, they end the story very, very well. So you can pretty much get Not a Hero for free if you buy Resident Evil 7, but you gotta pay a little money for the End of Zoe, although I do recommend getting the Resident Evil 7 Complete Edition, which has all the DLC, it has all the banned footage, it has Ethan Must Die, and all that jazz. And you can play Not a Hero and End of Zoe in VR! Which is still freaking frightening, like seeing the alligators right in front of you and they chop your head off. Ah! So that wraps up this episode of Awesome Video Game Memories about Resident Evil 7, Not a Hero, and the End of Zoe. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to check out these other videos, and also make sure to follow me on social media and check out the official Battle Geek Plus website. Take care.